Hi friends, we're going to be talking about character feelings. Now remember the story that we just finished, the boy who never gave up, okay, about Stephen Curry. He had very positive feelings, right? He never gave up. Here are some words that we could use to describe how characters feel. And it's a positive, it's a good feeling, happy, praised, helpful, honored, protected, understood, uplifted. But characters can also feel sad or stubborn or rebellious or guilty or hopeless. So we have positive and negative feelings that a character can feel when they're given a challenge. A challenge is a problem. How do they feel about the problem? What is the problem? Now, how a character responds to a problem can be different based on the kind of person they are. How do you think Stephen Curry would have responded if he was not a dedicated, hardworking individual? What if he was someone that was, crushed when someone told he couldn't do it? He might have given up. What if he felt weak because of what everybody said? He probably would have given up. So based on the kind of character traits that you determine a character has, we can figure out how they will respond to a challenge. Someone who is strong and with their friendships and they're outgoing and they're caring for others and they don't feel bad when they stand up to somebody, versus someone who's very timid and shy and afraid of conflict. If there's a bully situation, who do you think is going to stand up and who do you think is going to not stand up for their friend? Think about that. All right, so we're going to read this story and we're going to read it 3 times. I would like you to get your highlighter or your pencil, and I would like you to read this story now. You are going to mark any words that you don't know. I would like you to pause the video right now to read that. Okay, so you should have read the passage and marked any words that you did not know. Okay? And now I would like you to see if you can find out what those words mean. Whether you're asking a brother, sister, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, or we're looking them up online, or we're looking them up in a dictionary. Okay? And you can pause the video now, do that, then have a full understanding of what we're reading before we move on. Because we're going to read it a second time to find character traits and the challenge that they come across. Then you're going to read it a third time to answer the question. Okay, so I'm going to use my highlighter and I'm going to highlight anything that shows me Mr. Jones or Riley and Carlos. How do they respond to the challenge? What kind of character are they? Anything that's going to describe them as a character, I'm going to highlight. Mrs. Jones really knew how to ruin the mood. There were just a few last details standing between her students and summer. One of the details was to talk about summer reading challenge. Basically, the teacher would set a goal for the number of books each student in the class would have to read over the summer. If everyone achieved that goal, the class would have a pizza and bowling party. Of course, everyone wanted that, but then Mrs. Jones revealed the number. 30. It was twice as many books as last summer's list. Each student had to read 30 books from an approved list in just a couple of months. Riley and Carlos sat in the corner and shook their heads. So that sounds like their challenge, that they have to read 30 books, twice as many as last summer. That's a lot. My family's going on a 6-week road trip this summer, said Riley. Can't you just read in the car? Asked Carlos. I get car sick when I try to read in the car. I think I may just have to take the first 2 weeks before we go and try to knock out all the books. If I do that and nothing else, I think it's possible. No TV, No video games, no nothing. That's 15 a week, or just over 2 per day. Then I'll be done. And I can have 6 weeks of adventure. You? So he gets car sick in the car. And how is he trying to fix the challenge, or to respond to the challenge? He wants to read them all in the first 2 weeks. Now, not everybody can do that. That's a lot. So let's see how Carlos responds. You're a fast reader, so I think that will work. I'm slower, but we're not traveling anywhere this summer. I think I'm going to try to read a book every other day, 1 day on, 1 day off. That way I'll be able to get through the pile and do whatever I want those other days. It'll also be good because I like to think about a book for a while after I finish it. I don't like to dive right back into another. The friends wished each other luck, even though it was going to be a challenge. They were both excited about this chance to dig into the book list. So let's see. Think about, I'm going to read a book every other day. Okay? So they both want to reach the same goal, but they're going to try to achieve it differently because they're different individuals. One reads faster, one reads slower, one doesn't like to jump into another book, one likes to jump into another book. So I want you to read this a third time and find the answer to what is the challenge faced by the two boys. What's the challenge that the boys are trying to fix? Describe how each boy plans on responding to the challenge. You're going to read this again and write that down. And then we'll talk about this in our small group in addition to the other question that you answered last time.